Alright guys, today we're over at Sawyer's Pond in Emmett. Hey guys, today we are over at Sawyer's Pond in Emmett. It's a 61, I think, acre pond. I'm in the main pond where you can launch a boat at. There's, I think, 3 fishing piers here. The water level is rather low. I think a lot of the ponds right now I've been to, the water level is quite low. You can see the bottom in several places, so the clarity is actually still pretty good before the weeds come up here in the summer. I've had some requests to do this pond. I'm going to try to get out and do more ponds, kind of show you what's out here. This is one of the usual suspects. It's got rainbow trout they've been stocking right now. You got bluegill, bass, and it says catfish. And I know there were some other observed species of fish. I don't know what we'll run into today, but let's get out there and see what we can find out here on Sawyer's Pond. All right, we worked ourselves back into this little cove here in the first pond. I brought my Texas rig, so I've got one of my favorites, the old South African special, baby brush hog. We're going to try this over here on the Texas rig. Yeah, these little coves like this will be perfect for spawning bass. You know, it should block some wind. We can see some rocks here that'll give it some, they like hard bottom and hard structure to be able to lay their eggs. And there's, looks like there's some cover. We got some branches over there. So let's try seeing if we got any bass around here. I may need to get in a little closer to the shore. I like to be as far away as I can because I don't want to spook these fish. Well, it's only 65, but with no wind, really, there's just a light breeze. Every once in a while. It is already starting to feel quite toasty out here. Alright, up by these reeds. Looks really promising. Oh, that feels like a bite. Oh, I think we had a bite. Oh, and there it is again. He came back for it. He came back for it. Oh, keep him on. All right. Feels like a decent one. There we go. Stay on, buddy. Woohoo. All right. He's put on a show. All right. We already got a bass right up here along the shore. Let's see if we can land him. He's crazy, or she. Nice size one, too. Ah, there we go. There's a beautiful big bass. Perfect hook set. Right there. All right. Right off the bat, that is a beautiful bass. Look at that. That's a good, another good 2-pounder. Nice. All right, buddy. Thank you. Get back over there. What a great way to start the day. Just saw a trout swim by after we got that bass, and something just surfaced right over in this area. So I put on that smaller rainbow trout Thomas spoon. This is the 1/6 ounce one. It's kind of shallow here and I want it to drop even slower. So let's give this guy a shot over here. It was a nice sized trout that we saw swimming through here. Still in that first pond. I kind of want to make my way back to these other sections. Let's try one out this way. Man, what a beautiful day just to be out here on the pond catching some fish. Oh, right there. Stay on. I think we got a trout. Oh yeah, we got a trout. Right there. Little stalker trout. Let's see if we can get a quick release on this guy. Oh, I didn't bring my pliers. I left him in the back seat of the car. That's going to be fun today. May have to go to the dock and get them. There we go, right there on that little rainbow trout spoon. Let's try to see if we can get them off. I left my pliers in the car. Hands wet first. Alright. Come here. Come here. Come here. You're right on the side of the lip. Come here. You're already bleeding a little bit. There we go. He's off. Oh, and he's wormed out of my hands and he's under the boat. He took off. Alright, so far we've gotten one trout and we've gotten one bass. And it looks like it's 3 ponds connected. I'm all the way back in the third one. We got those first 2 fish in the first pond. I decided to come all the way back here and throw a few. Still have that spoon on. There it looks like a nice little back cove over here. We're going to work our way over that way. That looks like it would be a great place for bass to be. Also along here we got some stumps. Let's see what else we can catch today. There's some great spots to go for bass, but it is still a little bit early. I think they might get a little more active here in the next hour or so. We got lucky on the first one. Let's go with the bronze blade on the troll. I've seen 2 fish popping out here. They're probably trout, but the best way to cover the water here is to just get a good troll going. And I think there's a good possibility we may also snag too. We'll just have to see. It's a good thing that these lures are only $1.50 a piece. Don't want to lose them, but if I do, you know, it's not no $5, $10 lure. So these I want to go a little bit faster because they're heavier. Let's get a nice cast out there. Heard it hit the water. I'm going to kind of slowly reel the line out. I don't want it going super duper deep because these are quite a bit heavier, but these fish might be deeper. There we go. Put it in the rod holder. That's what I want to see right there, that little vibration, so I know we didn't tangle on the cast. It's got great action in the water. That vibration and that flash should just attract fish right over to it if we get near any. Alright, we just got one on the troll with that bronze one. And as you can hear, I got my drag pretty loose just in case I snag on something. Oh, he's fighting good. Now he's coming right at us. Come here. He hasn't shown himself yet. It is a trout. Here we go, on the blade bait, and he's off right there at the boat. He was on the blade, little guy. We count him, he was hooked by Hurley. Alright, I was just talking to a local guy right here, and he said there's some really big carp in here, and he's caught some nice catfish as well for you guys that like to carp fish and catfish. And he said there's some good bluegill as well, but he hasn't gotten any crappie. I know it showed, I don't know, 10 plus years ago on the observation part of the Game and Fish website, which I'll link below, that they had caught some crappie in here back then, but he hasn't run into any yet. But he said there's some nice bass, so we're going to try this little back corner. We just had a trout on the troll that fell off, so I'm going to fish this back corner for bass and then shoot my way back across the other side, and we'll troll one more time. And here's another parking lot right here. So when you come onto Sales Yard Road off of Mill, there's a first parking lot area you go through. It's a pretty bumpy road to the back to the first pond that has a boat ramp and some boat docks on it. Go down Sales Yard a little further, you'll see another turnoff that brings you here to this back pond. Looks like you could bring a kayak down here if you had a little way to roll it down, or if it wasn't too heavy, for this back pond. Then if you go down the road just a little bit further down to Airport Road, On the left-hand side of the road is Dick Knox is right there. So if you come down here, they got two great big ponds here, both like 60 plus acres. You can come down here and have a good day. All right, we got that first guy on these Zoom baby brush hogs in South African Special. I'm gonna put a fresh one on. That other one was already kind of beat up. I've been using it for a few days. So let's grab a fresh one out of here, and I'll show you kind of what I do to them. And this great is because these are inexpensive for soft plastics. You get 12 of them for about $5-6 bucks. All right, so what I do with these, like most brush hogs, first thing to do is pop these arms off up top so they're flopping around. The next thing I do is I'm gonna grab a knife here, and I'll change the camera angle so you guys can see. Hopefully we'll be in a good angle for you to see what I'm doing. Got a little bit of shade here. All right, ready? All right, let's go down. All right, so what I do is I'm gonna take the flippers in the back. I'm gonna set them down on here and put my knife right down the seam, and I push down and I cut each flipper in half on both sides. Just like that. That way we have even more appendages going. Look like little crawdad claws. All right, then the last thing is grab some of this Spike It Dip and Glow. Be careful with this stuff. It stinks and it does stain. And I'll fold these flippers back and try to hold them up. Now I'm about 3/4 of the way down, so I have to get in there pretty deep, but I want to get these tails in here and change the color and add some scent to them. All right, just like that. And I got some on my finger, so, but you can see how it kind of makes it a little green, changes the color of them. It is a chartreuse color, but on these dark ones it turns it green. If you were using like a green pumpkin color, it would turn it chartreuse, or any lighter color one. So, and you want to let that sit on there for a good minute or so. Let's get back up here. I know you guys want to see me. All right, I let that kind of sit on there and dry on there at least a good 30 seconds before I cast it. And let's grab the setup for this one. I'm using a 1/8 ounce weight. Got 15-pound fluorocarbon down to my 20-pound braid. I'm using a number 3 Gamakatsu hook. And then you want to line it up so that you're going down the middle here between the arms, about 1/4 inch down. Pop it through just like you would a regular Texas rig. Slide it up around, line it up here, and usually on these number 3 hooks they'll line up to be just perfectly right about where that tail is. And there you go. You want it nice and straight, and then you can just embed that hook there, just the tip in there, so that you're ready to fish it. And we've been seeing them coming up right along here where the drop off is, where it's about 3 or 4 feet deep. So these ought to work perfect. As they fall, those little twirly tails just drive them crazy. Fresh baby brush hog on here. Let's try right out a little deeper. I want to be about 3 to 4 feet out from the shore. If you guys can see, this kind of drops off quickly right into these weeds. That's where I've been seeing a few bass perusing right along that ledge where the drop off is. We got that first guy early right up by the shore, but the rest of the bass that I've seen have been cruising down here in about 2 to 3 feet of water. Those are the ones I'm going to try to target. And I feel like in this depth, this is the perfect lure to be using. Just let it sink all the way down. That twirly tail, if it goes anywhere near them, it's just going to drive them crazy. Oh, little fish pop up over there. I saw 2 bass right back over here. I'll see if they chased me up. Let's see if they chase me down. I've been hit so many times on these brush hogs. You know, a slow reel up, like a swim bait. Fish are getting a little more active out here too, so I also want to get back to fishing out there a little bit too. Oh, see, I feel like a bass just came up and blew up on a school of little bait fish right there. Oh, think something was just playing with it. Yep. Stay on. There we go. All right. Number 2, right on the side of the lip there. Good hook set. That's a little 1-pounder, but I'll take it. Pretty fish. There you go, buddy. Thought they'd be right along this ledge. Thank you. All right. All right, I just threw a little crankbait on to mix things up, and we just got a fish on the crank. Staying down like a bass. Oh, it's a trout right there on the little crankbait. Oh, there's a nice trout. Oh man, he's flopping like crazy. Got some line out and get him off the hook. See if we can drop him in the water here. Can't keep the reel open. Oh, there we go. I had switched over to a small little crankbait right there. Just started trolling it, and he came up. Oh, don't. Okay, and slammed it right there. Nice one too for a stalker. Let's see if we can get this hook out and get him released. Right in the top of the mouth there. All right, he's out. All right, got the hands wet already, so there we go. That's in the middle pond. So far we did catch something in every pond. Ready to go, bud? He took right off. He crushed that little crankbait. All right, it's a little Rapala, I believe. Oh man, what am I doing? Does it say on here what it is? UL Shad 04. Okay guys, that's Sawyer's Pond for you. We got a few fish today. It was a great day. I would definitely recommend coming and checking it out if you guys haven't been out here to Sawyer's Pond. I'll put a link down below for the Game and Fish website that shows you where it's at, how big it is, what's in here. And also, if you're interested in any of the stuff I was using today, I'll link it down below like always. And I will see you guys in the next video.